Painting session activated. Alright. Well, painting. Not really painting. I'm actually going to be doing some putting together of minis. I am finally putting together my official Novatate kill team. That will be for July's Grand Tournament here in the Pacific Northwest. I've finally made decisions, if I can find my little book, which is down here, on where I'm gonna do something a little different than the kill team I've been running. And I can always test it out and see how that goes versus going all in. So we'll see. We'll see. Alright, so I'm 3 minis in, which is not enough. Not nearly as many as I need to make, which, of course, come on. But it's all good. So we'll have the Sister Superior. Of course, we're going to have our Penitent and our Hospitaller. We'll have quite a few of the non-traditionals because I don't even think I'm going to make one of the Militant. They just don't really have anything that is calling to me, or nor do I have a need, because it's a non-narrative play, to have, you know, some minis that are just going to be out and about doing their thing. So I think I'm okay with what I've got here. So the next one I'm going to create, let's see, do that one, next one. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a Reliquarius. I think I am, but not 100% positive on that, so I will wait. So then instead, I'm going to make an Exactor, which is one that I haven't done before. I didn't do this on my first slash of models. I did do it on the one that I started building, but haven't really gotten all that far with it. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna have her. She is going to have some neural whips, which is always fun. Who doesn't love a good neural whip? Love to get some of those in real life. All right. This is like my least favorite part of the entire mini process, so I'm gonna need some people to show up in order to keep me company and get me some conversation to go forward with this boring part of the process. Because, ugh. Yeah. Gotta get all my screens up properly, otherwise I get lost. So we're doing 42 through 45. These being the newer minis are quite nice. The sprues are all in the right places, which make it very easy to actually go through this process without me cursing at Games Workshop and their inability to put sprue lines and mold lines where they need to be in order to make it easier for me, the putter together. Okay, so then we've got, now we're going over here. This is the part where it gets fun, because then they start switching up which of the faces you're using depending on what sister it is, and then which of the things you use, because you can do different types of Militant or the Exactor, and then you've got to switch to, this is an interesting one because they've basically put all of the fancy stuff, so the ones that are the separates versus the Militants, on their own sprues. You keep having to go back and forth. which I like. Keeps it simple. Alright, so it's just going to be just these two. I like painting the neural whips. I don't like this process because I feel like I always end up cutting a sprue in a way that causes too much of the chaff to come off with it. So we've got 10, 11, and 42. All right. Fun, fun. Well, hope you're all doing well. I've had one of those weeks that has basically made me wish all day, every day was Friday. Thus far, Friday has not come, and this week, Friday, I'm taking most of the day off to go watch my son's robotics competition. So that will be fun. Nice to have a little bit of a reprieve from a full work week. We don't have any holidays coming up until, I think, Memorial Day here in the US, which is end of May. So need to take some actual holidays on my own. Yeah, so this is where it gets quite difficult, is these tiny little edges and corners on these little models. These are the 28mm models, and so they're a little smaller, not quite as hefty, which makes them fun to play, so that their movement is quite fast because they've got 3-circle movement in Kill Team, but that makes them quite a pain in the butt to actually use and create, and for someone like me anyway. I know other people don't have such issues, but give me my big models that I can fuck around with all day long. But they are really well done. I'm super impressed. There's very little mold lines. The sprues are all put in places where it's easy to cover up if you do bunge it up and make a bit of a mistake, which is helpful for people like me, because I do have that tendency to do something that maybe I shouldn't have done, or not get a line exactly correct. And these are quite forgiving little models. I have done about 4 minutes worth of work on my diorama for the Kill Team tournament. I got very frustrated because I am not a fan of working with styrofoam, even though it is clearly superior to anything else in all ways except as you are actually going through the process. It's just so messy, so I need to just take a weekend day and go down to the garage and figure it out. I'm probably gonna end up messing up quite a few times. I need to get very comfortable with that. I once had someone try and teach me how to juggle, and I couldn't because they were watching. Because I can't, I mean, even if they weren't watching, like I was trying in my hotel room after, and I couldn't, because I'm incapable of failure in any way, shape, or form. If I know I'm going to fail, I won't do it. I don't like it. If I'm not sure, I'll try anything, or I think there's a chance, but these things, it's guaranteed failure. I don't know what I'm doing with this diorama. It's the first time I've ever really used styrofoam for something like this, and it's the first time I've ever used this styrofoam cutting heated melty tool, which sounds like a lot of fun, but it's quite smelly. It's quite, I don't know, it's a different experience. It cuts different than I thought it would. The feel is, it's like a hot knife through butter, which doesn't give you any resistance, so the tactileness isn't there, like if you're using a knife. So I need to get used to it. So maybe I'll just take a practice run using a piece and know that I'll mess up. I will not be doing that whilst on video. Maybe I will. I don't know. Broaden my horizons. Fail in front of humans. Not my favorite thing to do. Oh, goodness. Yes. Ready for this week to be over. I have a very awkward workday conversation tomorrow morning. So I will be logging off at 9 so I can get myself ready for bed, put myself to sleep so I can wake up. Even though it's a remote meeting, I want to be up and dressed and caffeinated so I don't get angry. Uncaffeinated, unlikely gamer is not something anybody wants to experience, honestly. She's not nice when she's uncaffeinated in the morning, or decaffeinated, or under caffeinated. I don't know. All of the above. Any of the above. Maybe I'm under caffeinated right now. I do like how they've done the boots because they are quite easy to get the mold lines off of. Where some of the sisters, the regular battle sisters, have some quirks to them. These are a little less difficult. I've struggled to find tools that I actually really like, and I don't know if it's just me. Like, Will use just an X-Acto knife, and I will cut my hand off if I tried to use an X-Acto knife the way that he does. That said, he has cut himself numerous times. Maybe that's why I know that's the case, that would happen, because I'm even more accident prone. But that being said, I did end up just buying the regular Citadel tools. It's the newer version that came out, and I actually quite like it. Maybe it's just that the other one that I have has lost its sharpness, but this one has a good, I don't know, it's got a good handle to it. It's kind of weighty. It's the same like with kitchen knives. I can't use a kitchen knife that doesn't have weight to it. I need to feel it. I need something in my hand. It can't just be a light piece of material. It's like a weighted sword. You've got to have the balance and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I just think that I'm a amazing swordsmith and need to have everything the way I want it to be done. Maybe I'm making it all up in my head. It's quite possible. Oh, see, this is where these are the ones that I don't fully love, because you end up not being able to cut them close enough to the edge, so you end up with these little extra sprue bits. And then you've got to take them off, and it's not easy because it's all toward the edging. It's also quite awful. I might switch to painting here in a bit. Not sure what I'll paint. Got lots of stuff I need to paint. I mean, there's these half-done sisters here. We've got some half-done sisters over there. We've got half-done terrain. I've got half-done other tank. I finally finished the one tank, but got another one to go. Just a regular rhino, sisters rhino. I'm doing it in red though, and that, I'll be honest, I'm quite lacking in my ability to believe in myself to make red tank. The first couple of shots at it did not go so well, so I'm needing to do some fixing, which is never fun, but it is what it is. let's see. I'm definitely gonna do the Condemner on this group. That's probably my favorite. And I've found out that I wouldn't say using it wrong. I just had read one of the rules incorrectly and then discovered a ploy for CP that I think will work out really well for her. Oh my god, with these stupid ropes. The worst. The worst. Oh, thank you, Rusty. I appreciate the follow. In my world of putting together minis tonight. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have folks here. Chat's very quiet tonight. Must not be many of my peeps around. Keeps going up and down. Looks like someone doing a nice to watch someone doing a hobby. Yes. I am someone. That is my middle name, actually. Can't motivate myself. Ugh. Hi, DD Martin. DDD Martin. Triple D. Yeah, sometimes I've been lacking some motivation the last few days in general, which is why I haven't been streaming very much. Haven't really been painting very much or doing much of anything. Reading. And just reading pure trash, crime novel type stuff. Can't get into anything too much. I do have a dedicated hobby area. We're empty nesters, and so we have two teenagers, one who's already moved out, and then the other one is in the process of moving out, so or will be moving out in the short future, over the summer, and so we've taken to one of their rooms. The other one will turn into like a guest room, or actually the gym, and then we'll turn another room into the house into a guest room kind of vibe. And then we basically put a kitchen table in one of the rooms. Hi, Spilled Paint Pot, how are you? 3Ds. No, that makes more sense. 3Ds makes perfect sense. I love that. Do you sell your stuff? And of course, fudgesicles, people. I've lost a piece, which is bound to happen. Bound to happen. And unfortunately, this room has carpet. So it might be gone for quite some time. Oh, nope, it's on the chair. Okay. So yes, we put basically our old kitchen table into the room. And then we've had, like, you know, two people move in together. You have way too much furniture anyway. And so we ended up putting this, which was Will's old kind of hobby area, where he had most of his paint. And now we've got it, like, to be primed, top section to be varnished, to be painted, stuff that's already been primed, and then all of our other stuff. So we try and keep things as orderly as possible, which, you know, all in all isn't super easy when you're as addicted to this process as we are. Well, that sucks. All right, I'm gonna have to do surgery. Yes, it's very organized. We are crazy kind of people. We also have like a little closet that we use these bins. They're just like, I don't even know what to call them, like Rubbermaid type bins from I think we got them from Target, and they work really well for storing bigger models, all of my bloody terrain, film equipment, various different things. And then there's another desk that's, sometimes we'll paint out, but at least at this table, it's wide enough that, Will can sit over there, I can sit over here, and then in between painting sessions, we'll typically get it completely gutted and then go to playing Kill Team on it, or whatever else we want to do. And when I started doing streaming, it became, kind of the streaming room, which the kids think is hilarious. My son thinks it's both horrifying and cool, I think, that his mother is streaming on Twitch. His exact phrase to me a couple of days ago was, "I cannot believe you have more followers than I do on Instagram." To which I asked, well, what are you doing to curate your audience, darling? And the answer is 0. So, but I'm sure, teenagers are just shocked when their parents do anything that's funny, interesting, something that they like, God forbid. They both crack me up. We went out to see the new D&D movie with my stepdaughter, and at one point, she asked her dad and I, solidly in our middle age, if we liked the clothes she was wearing, because they're like 10 years old, or doesn't she look like she's from 10 years ago? She's wearing a Hollister zip-up hoodie, and was like, honey, that's at least 20 years ago. And do they even exist anymore? Are they a real thing? She ended up getting it at a thrift shop, but it was like decade incorrect. And yeah, that's great. You basically stolen the style from when I was in my 20s. Hilarious. They crack me up. I'm excited to go to the robotics competition this week. My son does robotics. This is his last year, being off to college next year, but yeah, I think it'll be good. They've done fairly well this year. They're a smaller school, so it's been interesting to watch the process of them kind of getting better and trying to compete against schools that are funded. Like, one of the robots quite literally has an Amazon logo on it, which I found quite shocking. The other thing I really like about these Novatate minis is it's like they figured out exactly how to make the arms and legs go on without any issues. They're very small, and so typically with a model this size, I end up really messing up a foot or a leg, or not being able to get them the exact right place or whatever issue. So I like that these ones, I don't have to worry too much about it. I don't know if you can see, we do this. This is Will's kind of tip, and this is how we make sure that everything is easier to use the airbrush when we do priming. It could work for a spray can prime as well. Basically, super glue a washer, and then we have like a Lazy Susan that we have a bunch of magnets on, and so when you put your mini on, the washer holds it in place so that the airbrush doesn't move it or push it around. Works great for minis. You could probably figure out how to do it with scenery or terrain, but we don't typically do it with those. Some minis have terrible arms and legs. I swear, the worst I've experienced is the Slaanesh Demonettes. I cannot tell you how many times I have looked at them and broken an arm off. It feels like all you have to do is, give them a strong look and an arm will just fall off. These ones are nice because they also, they actually have the little hole that matches with the hole, so you've got it on correctly. Which also I like, because sometimes I feel like I've got it on correctly, and then I look at it from a different angle. I'm like, oh, that seam doesn't match up at all. Too bad I didn't realize that until after the glue had dried. But these ones are good for that. Nice little exactor with her crazy blades. Clean that up a little bit more later. Oh, yeah, it's great. It also works really well. We've done it on our dioramas, and so putting a little bit, giving them a place to stick versus having to like make a hole in the diorama, that's worked really nice. Keep everything together. Little posable or good to assemble, but never both. Yes. We cannot have all the good things. It's kind of a Games Workshop standard. You can't give us everything. We can have a really good model that works for putting together, or it can be a dynamic pose. Some of the ones that I love are the Demonettes of Slaanesh, because they're really dynamic, they have these cool poses, but fuck me when you put them together, it's too much. It's too much. What is the next one? Let's see. And this is like a stupid pet peeve, but I hate it when a mini starts here and then goes to the next page. Like, also, you should be able to just not do that, because this next one is perfectly fine the other way around. Just makes me sad. Makes me sad. Okay, so we're gonna do the Perceptor, which I am gonna do. Okay. Here we're doing 52 through 56, which I think is on this one, which is weird. Oh, because I decided I don't know if I'm gonna do that one, so. Okay. Perceptor. Bad layout. I don't know if it's the marketer in me or just a little bit of OCD, but oh, it drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. It's so avoidable. It's purely avoidable. Adding another page doesn't add that much cost to anything, ever. And adding the extra cost is worth it if you get just a little bit better usability. Not that I know how to do it better. I mean, it's mostly just about you can add in a little bit of extra spacing on some of the other things, or just start the next one and put in flavor text or add something else. Like, there's so much of a story that you could put in, or make the picture of the model a little bit bigger in that area. Those are less likely to be noticed than, oh, I've got to turn the page back and forth to know where I'm going. Not okay. Not okay, Games Workshop. One thing I do notice about these is oftentimes I have to check and double check the heel on the boots, because it and the sprue look so similar. I have to make sure I'm not cutting off the heels on the boots, which would be no bueno. No bueno at all. 56 face. I'm sure you could probably choose whatever faces you want in this, but it does make it seem like you can't. Okay. Perceptor. So here we need to go back to our little one for the specials. 12 and 13. This one's great. She's got the Mace of Righteousness. Yes, combat heels. They are like proper boots. It's not, you know, full crazy, I don't even, Lara Croft style battling and 13. battling in, high heels and stilettos and a crop top, but I mean, who wouldn't, right? Like, if you're gonna go in, you gotta go in. These are at least more of a combat style boot with a little bit of a heel. I think some of the assassins, right? Don't some of the like the Null Maiden assassins and all those have some pretty crazy heels going on. I'm not sure you're going to be assassinating anybody because you're going to end up knowing you're there. Hard to be a assassin ninja when you're making clicky heel marks down the road. Not impossible, but probably not the easiest or the best bet. If you can pull it off. Exactly. If you can make it happen, go for it. I have multiple black belts because I'm 4'11" and a woman, and wanted to learn to protect myself, and actually have an instructor's license in one of the martial arts. Very much enjoy it as a hobby. Haven't done much of it in many years, but might get back into it. But it, I could never think about, wearing something like that. And one night, my master, I'd asked some questions about how to get out of certain types of holds and whatnot that were not, what do you want to call it? Not specific to what we were actually learning. Like, it was like a type of Hapkido, and so, they were like, if somebody gets you on the ground, I'm a woman, how do I? And so he kind of taught me some extra class time, and he was like, you should wear street clothes, right? Don't, if you're wanting to take it at more of a self-defense, like, wear street clothes, wear what you would normally wear. I was like, oh yeah, I'd probably wear heels. And so, did it in some smaller heels, which made it feel more real, but it's very difficult. And I pride myself in being able to, near sprint in heels, and it was still quite a difficult thing to actually keep your balance while someone is quite literally trying to throw you off balance. So, not sure how possible it is in the video game world. Anything is possible, I suppose. I suppose not to say I couldn't do it. And when the adrenaline is pumping, you do whatever you have to do. Yeah, again, I don't know if it's just that this is sharper than the other ones, or it's staying sharper longer. It just feels better to me. Part of it is the hand feel, part of it is it actually seems to do what I want in the edging. Like, the other one that we have, I just feel like I can't get the rounded part to actually be where I want it to be, or make the rounding happen. And maybe, again, that might be me. I don't know. I'm not perfect. Ugh. I am having horrid allergies. Spring was slow here in the Pacific Northwest and is now full force. Everything is in bloom. It's still very chilly at night. I think it's Still supposed to get down into the low 30s. Somewhere around 5 Celsius tonight. Awful. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. I want proper spring. I want to go out into the garden and have vegetables starting to blossom. Everything feels a little late. Our tulips are starting to come out, which is nice. Typically we've had, it's what, the 5th of April? I feel like we should have had them by now. But hopefully, late spring means a long summer. Hopeful voice. Insert hopeful voice. Definitely worth the allergies to have some pretty flowers out. We moved in here, I think the very first thing that I did was start planting things in the yard, and this is officially our 3rd summer at this house, so I think it's all gonna start paying off. All the rhododendrons and peonies and bunches of blueberry plants, so I'll have to figure out what to make with those. So what is everybody out there doing tonight? Anybody painting or putting together their next thing to paint? Alright, this Preceptor, this Mace of Righteousness is a bit of a bitch. I take back what I said. This one does not have good sprue placement. Though there's not really anywhere where they could have done it any better. It's just all sharp edges. Silence of concentration. Building a few more Malifaux models, waiting on the oil wash. Ooh, Iron Warriors. Painted a Sky Dwarf Engineer earlier. Oh no, dropped it. Did it survive? Either the paint job or the mini itself. I feel like every time I drop something, I lose a limb. Get annoyed at myself for trying to be so efficient in my hobby. With a 9-year-old and a 1-year-old, time is limited. Yes. Time is limited. You do what you gotta do. How you gotta do it. Once they get older, you can take all the time you want. Enjoy it while it lasts. Because I know that people say, I know everyone is always saying, it goes by so quickly. They'll be older, enjoy it. And while you're going through it, honestly, the years between, like, I loved Newborn because, you know, they perfectly need you. They're so helpless. They're just adorable. They don't talk back. They can't get into trouble. You know, they cry a lot, but it's the worst that they do. And then they're great. You know, toddlers is fun. And then eventually they get to the stage. I loved 4, 5, and then 6 was good. 7, 8, 9 was awesome. Basically up until about 12. And then 13 through, honestly, now, like, it's gotten better. Now he's 18, it's a little better. more, like, less of a dick, more conversational, still asks dumb questions and, you know, should expect the dumb answer. But, oh, I'd kill for the 4 through 10, 4 through 11 was probably the best. Horrible feeling when that happens. Hope it's recoverable. Yeah. It's an anvil robo dog which lost a leg. A saw blade for a leg. Do tell more. Do tell more. Did you add that, or is that an option? I'm not familiar with the anvil robo dog saw leg kit. Also, I feel like every time you drop a mini, it might also just be another opportunity to do a conversion. Ah, shit, lost a leg. Guess we're gonna do something fun. Let's see what we have in the bin. Especially if the limb doesn't survive. Which I feel oftentimes you're lucky if the limb survives, and you're even more lucky if you can even find it after it's dropped into the abyss of carpet. Have a saw arm lying around. Perfect. See, that's the kind of conversion I'm here for. Make do with what you have. The other thing I really like about these Novitate limbs is, missed a little line there, is that you can actually tell which foot it is, whether it's the right or the left, because they put an insole in, little indent, which is great again for actually being able to put everything out without having to double check. That'll do. This is exactly the same as the last one. Same position, just opposite. Similarly looking wild over her shoulder. Didn't shatter as badly as I feared. 3D prints sometimes implode. Oh, are you doing... Yeah, resin, I do feel like has the ability to just turn into nothingness. PLA as well. It's sometimes with these plastics it feels almost the concept of breaking a bone, that putting all the glue makes it more hard and more resilient. Like they say, when you break a bone, you it actually heals stronger than the bone was to begin with. Kind of feels the same way. Oh, broken arm. Now she's stronger. And I do put, when I break an arm off, I'll put a piece of metal in to keep it secured, which makes me feel like it's far more secure for the next time that I invariably will drop the poor thing. There we go. 5 down. 6 more to go. How many are there? 10? 11? Don't even remember. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna do a Dialogus. So... See, again. They did it again. 8 starts at the very bottom. Why, Games Workshop? Why? Why must you be like this? It's unhelpful. The next one, do list. Do love the do list. Because I design them and then test print and paint. Yeah, my son has a 3D printer and Will was using it to make stuff for a friend, like, you know, random things that he wanted or needed, which was awesome. That seemed great to just be able to create anything you can either find a map for online or something you can create. My son's gotten quite good at CAD, and so I think he could make almost anything if he wanted to. 81 through 85. Okay. Which system do you use? Do you make your own designs, or do you use, like, forget the one, there's like thingamabob, thingama something? Thingiverse? I don't remember. When I want something 3D printed, I just ask someone else. Haven't gotten into that part. Or buy off Etsy, which I've done quite a bit of for my diorama. Quite impressed with some of the quality. I just got a bunch of stuff from an Etsy shop. Excuse me. That was all resin, and it's little servitors and what is it? It's servitors and purity seals and some candles and things, and the quality is really, really good. I am very, very impressed because they're teeny tiny, so I expected them to be not so detailed, but they're quite detailed. Thank you. Make them in Blender and then publish to Patreon. Oh, cool. I'll have to, is your handle the same? I'll have to look it up and see. Because we definitely like buying stuff from folks on here if we can. 18 and 19. Should be able to figure out what they are. The only two knives. The Duelist is a cool, one of my favorites. Really good for close combat. Has this thing called Expert Riposte, and she effectively, when in a close combat battle, can use a crit as both a parry and a hit, which I love because that makes it super good against the poxwalkers, because then they just take all bunch of damage no matter what, even if they have hits, so they just tend to die quickly. And I think it's 5+ lethal, so it's pretty good. Mostly Sky Dwarves and Machine Cult kind of stuff. Oh, that's alright. Yeah, we don't do a lot of that, but we do quite a bit of, I don't know, like bits, I guess, buying bits off of Etsy, or Will started making all of our stuff for playing Kill Team. This is pretty not awesome quality, but in general. I do some chaos, like I have a Bloodletter army. Will's more chaos, but he's more like Nurgle chaos. And then I do some Slanesh. I've got I'm trying to create oh my gosh, Thousand Suns kill team. I've got 3 of the Exalted Priests, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of it. It's kind of the thing I like about, like, I have, I think, about 5,000 points worth of sisters. But if I were to make another kill team army, it'll take me, you know, a week to whatever, everything together from scratch. And so, because if a Lord of Skulls is something you're looking for, ooh, I do love me some skulls. I have a Skull Taker that is half done. Anything with skulls. Half the reason I bought the Skull Taker is because he's got a cape of skulls, so I will definitely take a look at what you've got. Big fan of the skulls. I had a lot of fun putting together my demonettes and giving them some really fun skull bases. Do I have one around me? Oh, here's my cute little friends up there. Where are you, demonettes? Yeah, little demonette bases with their skulls. Probably better here, better lighting. Yeah. Decided I wanted to make them. You can do it, camera. Nope. These cameras are usually really good at picking up close range, but I don't seem to want to tonight. But wanted to give them kind of a creepy vibe, so they're all on piles of skulls, which was very fun to do, but also didn't realize as I had come up with the idea just how many skulls it was going to take to get the right concept of what I was looking for. So it took me longer than I anticipated. Do you have a link? You can post a link in the chat. I am link open. So far, no one has taken advantage. It only takes one clown to ruin it for the rest of us, but first Joker that posts their OnlyFans in my chat. Or tries to sell me something that I didn't ask for, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't have links, I guess. Instagram. See, Instagram's safe. I can click links from there. Oh, very cool. That sword chain blade thing is amazing. Very cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check out your Patreon. I primed it yesterday, now I dread having to paint it. That is the unfortunate part of this whole hobby is, yeah, most of the time you gotta actually do stuff. I have a desire to paint the box of stuff we just bought with Vashtor and all his friends. But I also am terrified of the entire concept because it's a very complicated looking model. I fear even attempting to put it together. Probably make Will put it together and then I'll paint it. Yeah, the bigger models can be such a process. That's why I like these little ones. Quick and dirty. Like, it's not more than, what, 7 pieces here. Very easy. They're all of the same ilk, so they all have the same paint scheme. You just kind of assembly line the process. I'm having fun with some of these other ones. Remember some of it with the large, yeah. Having fun with some of my sisters. I got just, they're not even necessarily ones that I play with, but ones that I'll probably play with when I start playing proper 40k, getting out of the world of just kill team. I'm very curious about the new rules. It's supposed to be simpler, so newbies like me. I am following you on Instagram. You are correct. That doesn't mean I see everything. Doesn't mean I see everything. But as soon as I saw your little avatar on Instagram, I was like, oh yeah, definitely. Been there, done that. I'm one of those people, even in real life, I will remember somebody's face until the day I die. Their name? No clue. I've tried all of the tips and secrets to remember people's names, saying their name 3 times when you first meet them. And unless I physically write it down and work really hard at remembering, or have some sort of context, it'll be gone. Which is actually really nice, because then people I don't like, I will tell a story about someone I worked with, you know, and have no idea what they're, like, I won't remember their name, which is kind of nice. The Insta feed is terrible. And I feel like I don't know if it's the algorithm has changed or something, but it's getting worse. It's not giving me stuff I actually want to follow. And then if I follow someone new, it will only show me everything that person has done for the last 19 years and not give me anything else on my feed. It's very weird, which I guess is why they're trying to get people to do stories and reels and stuff, because it's more random. I don't know. I don't understand it. Actually, to mute one person I follow because the Insta feed just showed nothing else. Yeah, I know. And then I saw, like, I don't remember where it was, and when I was going around Instagram, it was like, here's, you know, people that you interact with but don't really interact with much, trying to tell me to interact with them more, I guess. And one of them was like Henry Cavill, and I was like, well, yeah, no shit, I don't interact with him. Shock. He doesn't answer my DMs. Like, what does that even mean? I don't interact with him. Like, of course I don't. I read his stuff when he posts something. There's no interaction point that I'm gonna have with him. It was just a weird way to say it. Wrong leg. I'm definitely gonna sneeze again here in a second, so warning. Oh. Swear I'm really excited about all the flowers and the leaves on the trees, and yes, I take medication and it does make it better, which should tell you how bad my allergies have gotten. Thank you. Oh, 5 a.m. Yeah, go to sleep. What are you doing here? Oh my goodness. I don't know how you people do it. I don't understand. Get some sleep. I'm incapable of staying up that late. I am impressed with people that can, but also shocked. Uh, I, I've always been an early to bed, early to rise kind of person. Yes, exactly. I would need straight, 3 days straight. There's no getting over it otherwise. Yeah. I mean, even staying up until midnight on New Year's Eve is difficult for me. Uh, well, and I stayed up late the other day. Sleep for 3 days. Bye, Triple D. 3D. Um, micro hibernation. Yes, that's what I need. I need a hibernation. Yeah, Will and I stayed up late watching a movie the other night, and I don't think, like, it was on the weekend, and it's, what, Wednesday night? I still don't think I've recovered fully. I am not made for the lack of sleep. Ooh, now we get to do Condemnor. My favorite. My favorite character. Oh, wait, or Purgatus. Where's the other Purgatus? Okay. So let's see. So I've got did the Penitent, did the Duelist, did the Preceptor, did the Hospitaller, did the Exactor. So then I need to choose between the Reliquarius, the Pronatus, and then do I want both of those or do I want 2 Purgatuses? That one is gonna have to be the last decision I make, because I don't know. So we'll do the Condemnor, because I know I'm gonna have that one. And then we'll see what happens. Let's see. Is it on this one? 50, 90, 90, 90? Where are you? Oh, see, again, starts at the bottom of this page. I don't like it. So we're doing 90 through 93. Don't like it. I like it all to be on one page so I can see everything as I'm doing it. Bloody hell. Ah. 92. 93. It's kind of, I like mazes and puzzles and those, like, get out of the room games and things, and I feel like that's a little bit what these feel like sometimes. And then 94, 95, 96 for that one. Oh, no. 194. Cute little face. Where are you, cute little face 94? See, and sometimes the numbers are just really not even close to one another. 94 next to 90, or 94 next to 100. It's a tiny little face. Put it next to it. We're doing 20, 21, and 22. Though it's got to be really hard to fit all of this stuff onto something. I know. I'm being very nitpicky. Like it's so easy. Ugh. Yeah, I'm starting to get very stuffy. maybe there's something in this room. I feel like the last time I got really stuffy, it was in this room. They go together so well, but they're my least favorite models to build. It's very true. They're very small. That's my problem with them. Like I can do it, but they're very small. Hard to see, hard to make sure you're cutting the right place and then putting them together. This is one of those things that putting on my glasses and trying to work through my limitations doesn't really help much. It doesn't matter how much light I have, it's just they're very small. I do feel like I end up with more excess sprue to cut off on these ones than any other models that I have. I think it's just the size. Maybe I'll put together the other, I have some other ones that I put together. Maybe I'll paint those up enough to feel comfortable playing with them. And then next time Will plays, he wants to play the Kroot, so I'll probably rest some of my... I have a Purgatus in our narrative play game that is struggling. She has a 4th? She has 3 or 4 battle scars now. I think she's up to the 4. She just keeps dying, or keeps being incapacitated, and then keeps rolling stuff that she's still fine. She's still out there. She's just struggling hardcore. She basically has, I think she's down to 2 APL and always wounded, or always acts as wounded. And there's something else where you can't add to her APL, so she's down APL and you can't actually add to her APL. There's one other thing that I don't remember that she has that... Poor sister. She needs a rest. Heal some of those battle wounds. And it's funny because I have a hospitaler, but because I want the hospitaler to stay alive, I tend to kind of hide her, and I've given her some battle honors that make her really good at finishing missions, especially like the triangulate mission where you've got to go to the various edges of the map. Ugh. And so she misses out on all of her all of the goodness of what the hospitaler can do by saving and bringing back to life characters. It's kind of useless. I'm stupid. I shouldn't do this. I love the narrative play. I really enjoy it because it allows you to, build up a character. It does make it really difficult when they die, and Will says I'm far too attached to them, and I need to get better at that before we play with other humans, because nobody wants to see me get upset when my named characters die. So these characters will have no names. I will not paint their names on them. Otherwise, I'm gonna be too sad to lose them in a tournament. The tournament isn't narrative play, but they'll still be, if I give them names and personalities and backstories. Basically, I treat this game as if it's D&D. I give them long backstories, and, they have who they were as a human being, why they joined, what happened to their parents. So many of the sisters are orphans taken by the ecclesiarchy. They're basically, the Battle Sisters is the MI6 of the 40k universe. Yes, Battle Sister 284 instead of, I think my Battle Sister in my other game is Julara. She's lovely. She does a lot of good work. She's got some good battle honors. She can run really fast. She's a runner. She sprints. She can go over stuff without basically she can go over low equipment without taking extra APL, which I love. It's good. Makes her very workable when you're trying to get someone across to a board. And I mean, sure, she could bring somebody back to life, but which I probably should have her do more often, because then I wouldn't have my stinking Purgatus who's got 4 battle scars. This is another thing that I have gone and probably tried every single possible plastic glue there is, and this is my favorite by a long shot. I love the Revel Contact a Professional. It doesn't bunge up. It still has a freaking metal tip. I don't know why so many of the glues have gone away from metal tip. I did notice that I think Citadel or Pro Acryl, one of them went back to the metal tip. I think it's a Citadel, the Games Workshop one. Which, yes, exactly. Give us the metal tip. Nobody wants to deal with nasty plastic getting all screwed up because plastic and plastic glue don't really work well together. Shocker. Ow. Kind of screwed that up, but not too bad. Haven't tried that one yet. Ended up settling for Tamiya. I don't think I've ever used Tamiya. Is that... Yeah, I don't know that I've ever even heard of it. Which is shocking. I thought I knew everything. Clearly, you are far more advanced than me. I do like the idea of extra thin, though. Look that up. This one is, Revel is more standard modeling type stuff. Like planes, trains, and that kind of thing as well. So it's not necessarily this scale of modeling, but I like it. It's a little brush, like a nail polish brush. Oh, I do like that idea. That makes applying it, because sometimes I also wish that it was just a regular dropper so I could control it a little bit better. But I think that helps. What you're talking about helps with control. Okay. Yeah. Big fan of the crossbow. The nice thing about the crossbow is that it allows her to be silent, so effectively she can stay concealed the entire game. Even though... even though she's able to shoot. So kind of like that. Like, if they, again, technically not concealed, but concealed. Problem with wearing black all the time when you're putting minis together and letting that condemner go through its little process of drying a little bit before I put it on. So I'm taking a snack break. I don't know if you haven't noticed, I'm still addicted to the peanut pretzel. So good. So very good. Ow. I never really understood why people had those little things that you like attach to your minis to hold the pieces in place until I started doing the smaller models, and then I was like, oh yeah, that makes complete and perfect sense. And forgot to do the face. Also forgot to bring over my I'm gonna have to maybe go get the I got it. It's the one benefit to mini painting with nails. Most of the time they're just in the way. Okay, 7 down, 3 more to go. Where can one find the Tamiya Extra Thin? Where might I find this? Okay, now I have to make decisions, and I don't feel like making decisions today because I've had to make a lot of decisions at work today. Mostly decisions to not murder anyone or get super angry. So that was a struggle, and now I'm gonna do some painting instead. Because I think I would like to try the concept of brushing on versus not brushing on. I got one of the Zip Zap that's a brush on instead of the bottle, and that works really well for some of the typical stuff that you want to use super glue for. Like brushing these on versus sticking a bunch down that makes them dry a little easier, dry a little better. Okay. Novitates to the side while I make some decisions there. Let's see. This table needs a good clean. There's a lot going on. I tend to order from Michigan Toy Soldier. Oh, I have seen that. I don't know where I've seen it. I think my local store might actually have that. Yeah, I'll try it. I'm always down with trying something new, especially, again, it being something that is a brush on. Want to try that. Do discounts if you have an account. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'll check my local store and see if they have it. If they don't have it, I'll definitely order from Michigan Toy Soldier. good people of the Midwest and give them my patronage. Oh, just torn up my thing, but that's all right. Oh, I am having fun with these little Dialogus, another exactor. This is the Repentia Superior, and then Sister Superior Amarelia, what is her name? Something like that. Makes an excellent gap filler. The folks on YouTube call it sprue goo. Love it. Into little cubes and let it dissolve in the glue, and then when you brush that on, oh, that's a great idea. Because we have some of the gap filler stuff, which works, it's fine. Totally. Like, honestly, this is probably one of my favorite bases, like the bases that they come with too, because it's not overly done, but it's really unique, and so I want to do a little more work with it. I basically did my same marbling type effect, and then I'm gonna go in and dry brush the hell out of it. Maybe do a little bit of, like, I don't know, figuring out how to add some color or something to it. And then these candles, I bought a bunch of extra candles. I might throw some more on there, actually. They were for my diorama, which she will not be a part of, but that doesn't mean I can't use. I got a ton of them because, you know, Etsy. It's like, oh, I'll get free shipping or $5 shipping if I buy $20 worth of stuff, and the next thing I know, I've got, you know, 100 mini candles and, you know, 35 little mini servitors and a bunch of purity and a handful of purity seals. Let's see. I need to grab a couple colors. Oh wait, Will's got a bunch of colors over here. What does he have? Contrast. Gilliman flesh. Gilliman has his own flesh color. I shouldn't be surprised. Oh, that one could work. What's this? Looking for a word. A wood color. Oh, hi, your mom. How are you? Good to see you. That paint has seen better days. No. Gonna have to go with my traditional for my sisters. I almost always use mahogany pro acryl for all wood and leather, and then kind of depending on whether it's wood or leather, change the treatment. Come out. I have started wiping off the tip a little bit, and it is slightly better. Still not as good as just the pots, but it's fine. It's fine. I do think that I will never be a believer in the squeeze bottles being the ultimate. It's just not the case. Glad you're good, your mom. Good to see you. Ooh. Does anybody use the like the big magnifier glasses at all? I'm so tempted because I really struggle even with my readers to see what the fuck I'm doing 90% of the time. You're painting 5 houses in a fire pit. For work, for fun, for being a good friend. Whose houses? Why? I have questions. I have a bathroom that I want to paint. Yeah, you got a set. Do you like them, Cora? Magnifying lamp. So it's just a larger lamp that goes over everything, so you paint underneath it. See, I feel like that's limiting. I'm all over the place. Oh, 5 houses in a fire pit. Oh, not real houses. Mini terrain houses, of course. Where's my brain? Magnifying glass because the glasses didn't work with glasses. Yeah, I can see that. Glasses on glasses. I assume if I had the magnifying glasses, I wouldn't need to wear my readers, but they would work with my contacts. Keep it close to my face and swing it out of the way when I don't need it. 4 different lenses. Ooh, magnifying lamp versus glasses. All right, I might have to try. Do you guys have links to what you got? I definitely want to give this a go. Bonus points if it's a place I can return it if it doesn't work. Because, yeah, I feel like I miss a lot of detail. And definitely struggle with getting all of the nooks and crannies right the first time. Might even be able to hit an eyeball. Angron was together and almost painted. Oh no! Delta! Cat! Ah! I'm sorry. We've had a lot of models being knocked off recently. We've heard about this a few times tonight. Apparently it's going around. Used Amazon. Amazon's good. Good for the return process. Big fan. My funniest thing about Amazon is purely for the fact that they're around where we live. They bought one of the stadiums, or the rights to the name, or however that works. And they renamed it. It used to be Key, which was a Key Bank Stadium. And it's renamed to Climate Pledge Arena. I don't know why they didn't just call it Amazon Arena or, Amazon Stadium or whatever. Climate Pledge Arena. Ooh, thanks, Spilled Paint Pot. I got that link. Cracks me up every time. It's like they want everybody to know they're not, ruining the planet whilst we buy all of our crap from them and have it delivered in hours. And I'm so guilty. These are the magnifiers you got. If it was a Space Marine, it wouldn't matter. Yeah, Angron definitely matters. Did you end up finding all the pieces? Are you able to fix what got broke? Oh, perfect. Oh yeah, those look like they would work. Oh, and they come with different lenses. Awesome, thank you guys. appreciate that. The Pacific Northwest and the East are quite different. I didn't grow up around here. I grew up in Ireland, in England, but in Minnesota, to be fair. But the East Coast compared to Seattle, Pacific Northwest area, people-wise, is quite different. Spike! How are you, mate? Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go for it. I'm going to have to try something. Because I think I'm just never gonna get better at painting unless I can see what I'm doing. Oh, you did have the surgery. Yeah, I haven't been on for a minute, so I thought that you were having it this past week. Recovering. You've always lived in the Pacific Northwest. Well, welcome, neighbor. Well, assuming that you're here, everything went well, Spike. Recovery going okay. Slow, I'm sure. Slower than wanting. Yeah, I've lived a lot of places. I really like the Pacific Northwest. It is, I don't know. It's one of those places where until you've been here, it's hard to really describe it in a way. It really does have a little bit of everything. Like there's an actual city, and that city happens to be surrounded on 3 sides by water, and then there's mountains also on either side, and there's a bloody rainforest basically out on the peninsula, all in this, relatively small area. It's quite fascinating. And yes, it is rainy. It is quite rainy. It's been cold this year too, which is different. Monday. Good. I assume the knee surgery comes with all the PT you can possibly bear to get you up on your feet as quickly as possible, as they are wont to do, which is at the end of the day good, but not fun. Oh, good. They are covering the engine. That's awesome. I am glad they saw the light. I am sorry that you had to basically give them, your firstborn child and all of the records of your entire ownership to get them to do so. But it sounds like they're at least making good on their promise, so I don't have to call them angrily for you. That's good. Yeah, I feel like depending on the surgery, some of them that I've had, it was no physio for weeks. Some of it was, the last one, they literally woke me up the next morning and were pulling me out of my hospital bed down to the physio in the hospital. That was quite annoying. Peninsula is neat with the mountains and the rainforest. Yeah, it's so unique. I've lived a lot of places, but never lived anywhere quite this diverse in all of the things that it has. Again, in a very, very small area. And Seattle is really cool. Portland has its kind of own, like Seattle and Portland are not, they're not the same. They're not the same vibe. They're not the same kind of feeling to them. The cities are very vastly different. And then it's really easy. We go up to Vancouver quite a bit, or did pre-pandemic, I guess. Yeah, very, very cool. About 30 minutes before he went into the surgery. I bet that is really nice, to just have that weight off your shoulders, knowing that that was going to be taken care of going into surgery, rather than having to worry about it once you got out. In and out the same day. Oh, good. Yeah, most knee surgeries are in and out the same day anymore, it feels like. But with a full replacement, I think it's probably just because you're young enough that they they don't keep you in. Because I feel like if you're of a certain age, they want you to have that extra time to make sure everything's good. Hi there, Gareth. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for the raid. Hi, Cutie Patootie. Love that name. Adorable. Welcome, raiders. Much appreciated. Hi, Don Crypt Monkey. How are you? Hello, A Night Whisper. Welcome, welcome. Dr. Irrefutable. Look forward to trying to refute. Thanks for the follow, Gareth. Thanks for the raid. Much appreciated. I love all the cutie patootie stuff. Love it. I am working tonight. I put together some of my Sisters Novitate for my kill team for the grand tournament. And now I'm working on some other 40k sisters. Right now I've got the Dialogus going on. I've got Amelia here, and then my Sister Superior for my Repentia squad. Kind of just working through some random stuff. Nothing major, nothing crazy. Doing good. Was working on a Stompa. Oh, nice. Welcome. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Bioodrid Sandman. I need to put my glasses on to read some of these names. I think I want to start doing some orcs, and I want to do them very colorful, very fun, very interesting. Feels like there's a lot of opportunity where my sisters are so much more basal and normal, so simple, so, I don't know, ecclesiarchy. They all look the same. I try and have fun with some of them, like the bigger models, but I had a lot of fun doing that, what is it, the, oh gosh, the big tank, oh my gosh, why can I not remember the name of the tank with the, organ blaster. My brain is off tonight. Yellow Stompa, as it should be. Orcs and color go hand in hand. Very much agree. Oh, thanks for the follow, Crypt Monkey Studios and X Cyber. Thank you guys. Very much appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Exorcist, thank you. Yes, I keep wanting to call it the Exactor, but that's this young lass here is the Exactor. with her neural whips. Yeah, it's one that I don't think anyone in this household, including my partner who's been painting for 40 years, I don't think anybody's done them. So I feel like orcs are good new territory that I can just have fun with and not have anybody to compare myself to, which I like. Because when you're comparing yourself as somebody who's been painting for 18 months to someone who's been painting for, 40 years, sometimes I'm a little competitive. This one, I'm not sure what I want to do with all of her bits at the front. If I want these to be kind of scroll-like, if I want to go gold with them, maybe do a little bit of color. I don't know. Might put her down for a second, pick up somebody else, give a little attention elsewhere for my brain to kick in. Dark plum. What am I looking for? Oh, way over there. Purple with gold letters. Ooh, I do like it. That's funny. I just picked up a purple. We are on the same wavelength. Yeah, I feel like it could be very contrasty with purple. And I like sleepy minds. I am too a sleepy mind, so it might be that sleepy mind is the real key to our synchronicity. Because I do feel the sleepy. I also feel like with the orcs, there's just, I don't know. I love all of the story that goes along with all of the characters, but theirs is just kind of cute, and I like that they have their own language and dialect, and it's unlike anything else. They're not, all trying to be high gothic baddies. They're just kind of goofy. I saw someone, I think it was War Mistress on Instagram, who did some really cute stuff with adding boxes and hiding them. Oh my gosh, it was adorable, which I think is really cute. I know there's some people who have done some stuff like that. It feels like a very creative army that you can have a lot of fun with. No Muse. We've talked about this one. Purple is the best color. Orange. Oof. Purple and orange. They go well together. Aren't they complementary colors? Or they're not fully complementary. They're adjacent on the color wheel. If I remember my rudimentary color wheel art class nonsense. I think we have a color wheel. Will uses it all the time. I don't. Clearly, I don't. Yes, yeah, purple and yellow are complementary. I feel like sports teams, if you just look at sports teams, they're oftentimes using complementary colors. Purple and orange aren't next to each other, but they do look good together. Yeah, I forget there's a name for, there's like complementary, and then there's like secondary complementary, or there's some other term for it. And I think that's what that would be, because it's one line down or whatnot. But again, I could be all wrong and making shit up, or maybe my year 4 art teacher lied to us when we were kids. No idea. Or some combination therein. Why am I painting without glasses? Why? Why do I do this to myself? Oh, everything is so perfectly in view now. I really need to go to the eye doctor. I had no sunglasses with me the other night, and it magically got sunny and I was driving, and Will had an extra pair of prescription sunglasses because he doesn't wear contacts at all. And so I just tried them on. Oh my gosh. I could see leaves on the trees. I haven't been to the eye doctor since pre-pandemic, and clearly my vision has gotten a lot worse because his prescription plus my contacts was enough to make me see leaves on trees. It was probably I probably shouldn't be driving at all, really, knowing what I know now. But alas and alack, I've now made an appointment to go see my eye doctor because wow, when you realize that you need to add, because I think his prescription's like 1.5, plus 1.5, and or negative 1.5, and mine is negative 5.5 already. So yeah, I don't think he fully appreciates that if I don't have my contacts or glasses on, I cannot see anything. I can see color mostly and kind of shape. It's like if I wake up in the middle of the night without my glasses on or contacts and don't put my glasses on, I'll run into a wall on the way to the loo. Like I can't see anything. It is fun to make shit up. Dawn, I'm very good at it. I quite enjoy making shit up. It's one of the reasons why I was okay with the idea of having a child, because I knew that they wouldn't know anything, and I could BS my way through pretty much their entire life. They wouldn't know the difference. If I put my glasses in the wrong spot, I have to have people help to find it. Exactly. It's my worst nightmare. The worst thing that happens is when I'll have my contacts in and I'll take a shower and something will cause them to fall out, and then I've got to somehow remember, where are my glasses? Where did I last put them? How do I get there? How do I tell Will where they are to go find them for me so that I can leave the bathroom? Yeah. We are the same, John. We are the same. We come from the same line of far-sighted, near-sighted shit talkers who like the color purple, and that's what we're gonna go with. I haven't checked in a long time, but for a while my vision was so bad that I couldn't get LASIK, which is probably still the case, to be fair. But I remember when it first started coming out, after quite a few years, I think there was some promotion that my work system was running. Oh, thank you, Muse's Touch. I appreciate the follow. Where, it was some special insurance percentage off because hashtag United States insurance companies. And I contacted the whatever eye doctor, I guess it's a optometrist, ophthalmologist, I don't remember which one is the real doctor, the actual surgeon people. And they were like, yeah, we can't, your vision is too bad, it's too poor, and your vision changes too often that you can't have the nice things. It's the same when it first started, but I think it's gotten good enough. Yeah, I might check it out. I don't know. The concept of not having to have glasses or not have to have them all the time sounds really nice to me. Even when I was young, when contacts first came out, I couldn't have contacts, and then I couldn't have non-hard contacts for a long time. Soft contacts couldn't go down to my prescription level, and so it wasn't until, probably, I don't know, my son was a few years old that I finally got contacts, because he was pulling he broke 2 pairs of my glasses. I was finally like, okay, maybe I should figure out if I can, if I can do contacts again. And then it turned out that they had changed enough that I could do contacts. But they were, you know, hard contacts. And then I was able to switch a few years ago to soft contacts. So foreign. It's a crazy concept to think, oh yeah, I could just wake up one day and not have to put on glasses or poke myself in the eyeball. Yeah, I know a few people that got LASIK and just rave about the concept. It also just concerns me greatly because the idea of having a laser next to my eye kind of freaks me out. And I'm not someone who gets freaked out. I have had many surgeries in my life, over a dozen, and I don't know why. Eye surgery, terrified that I would be one of the whatever percentage that end up going blind. I would be that person. I could lay on my side and watch TV with my head on the pillow. Oh, what a crazy concept. We are the same person. Dawn. How are we the same person now? You have the same fear? You've had a dozen surgeries? I am enjoying meeting my doppelganger. Please tell me you're also an Irish redhead with slight anger problems and lots of opinions. I mean, clearly, but same fear and over a dozen yes. I love it. I love it. Very few people can match surgery for surgery. And most of those people have also Cajun black. Okay, you know, honestly, Cajun, Irish, we're very different in many ways. But similar. Yeah, most people who've had that many surgeries usually have had some either major chronic health issue or cancer or something like that. So whatever has caused you to have so many surgeries, hope you are through it and well. I've been in remission for, it'll be 5 years this summer, so which I think is the official point where I get to mark myself as cured. Doesn't really mean you don't stop worrying every 12 seconds, but, you know, also kind of a worrier, so hence my worry that I would end up blind from what I think has become a routine surgery. Combination of children, accident prone, and bad genetics. Yes, accident prone is quite a handful of mine as well. Like our friend Spike, who may or may not have been still with us if he hasn't fallen asleep from his post-surgery drugs. He's had knee surgery this week, and I've had 4, so I get that one. Something about surgery on limbs and any type of gynecological surgery or obstetric surgery. There is a special place in whatever afterlife comes for women who have to deal with that shit. It's a different level of hell recovering from those kind of surgeries. That's all I will say. That was the worst one on the knee. Yeah, knee surgery is rough. It throws your entire body out of whack in ways that you don't expect. It's just awful. Don't understand why knees all go wrong. It's not prepared for the time that it would take me to be able to walk again. Yeah, exactly. It's it messes with the balance on your entire body and system. I mean, even Will had back surgery this past year, and he was quite literally up, walking around, moving. He had zero restrictions from spine surgery. Like, spine surgery. And he was fine. And my last knee surgery was 6 weeks, 8 weeks, with not being able to touch my foot down with any weight at all. Like, and Mr. Spine Surgery gets to, do whatever he wants days after. I was shocked. Shocked. Had a brace in my leg from my ankle to hip for 3 months and on crutches for 6 months. Me too. We are the same person. Dawn, you're my new bestie. We are. You have found your Irish doppelganger, my Cajun sister. Yes, my wife had double knee replacement surgery. Ooh, they did both of them at the same time. Oftentimes, like with Spike, he's having a knee replacement, and he is doing them, yeah, one after the other in order to keep from having everything at once. 8 weeks before they would let her drive. Yep. She had to lie in bed. Oh yeah, the machine. Oh God. Oh, I'm having flashbacks. That machine, it's so awful. I had to use it at night while I was sleeping. It was like, because I had to use it for so much time during the day. It was like, oh, you need to use this for 12 hours. It was like, okay, so I either have to not, use it while I'm sleeping, or, use it all day long and not try and go to work, which I couldn't take all that time off of, off work. It was awful. It was so awful. The machine is terrible. Yeah, they did them both at once. It's tougher doing both since you don't. Yeah, exactly. Luckily, she seemed to have support in you, because that would be miserable. Needless to say, I had my last knee surgery when I was with someone who was not so supportive and lovely. And so, yeah, I really hated all of it. Did not go well. I couldn't imagine not being able to literally walk at all. Ended up sleeping with my leg in it so I could turn it off and off. Exactly. Yep. Every 2 hours. Yeah, it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever been asked to do. It's like, okay, you need to put your knee in this machine, and this machine is going to basically force your sore leg to have range of motion whether you want it to or not. Awful. Awful. It's a torture device. It's worse than medieval Inquisition times. Awful. Yes. Spike, are you still with us? Are you enjoying having us say how awful knee surgery is while you've just gone through them? Snack time. Little snack attack there. Whew. The problem with the pretzel bites, they do not work well with also trying to talk and be engaged, because they're thick and dry. So, moved a bed into the living room so she could have the TV, food, etc. all close together. That's a good idea. To have everything all in one room, and hopefully a toilet close by, because I feel like that was that was the worst part, was just having it, like, I could, sleep in the living room on the sofa if I needed to, or at least kind of fall asleep, but then basically crawl to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Ugh, it's awful. Awful, awful. Bedrooms are on the second floor. Oh, God, yeah. No. Stairs. I mean, if she had double knee surgery, I can't, like, I don't even know. Can you even. You can't even use crutches at that point because there's no way you can touch down either one. So you're basically wheelchair. Did she just stay in the house until she was able to weight bear, or how did that work? Oh, yes. Every time you sit down, will I be able to get my ass out of this chair, toilet, seat, wherever I am? Yeah, ew. Not fun. And again, I did not have the most supportive partner in the world when I had my last surgery, and it was not fun. It was not fun. Did a lot of walking around on my own on crutches. I did end up with, you know, four arms like Popeye by the end of the 8 weeks of no weight bearing, but so, the little things. She wasn't working, so she was able to just stay at home. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean, but still not fun to just have to stay at home for months at a time. As we all found out during the pandemic, not the most fun anybody's ever had. Staying at home. Even though I'm such a homebody, like, I find myself staying at home all the time. I feel like I did better than a lot of people during the pandemic and was more okay with the situation, but still definitely got stir crazy. It's crazy how strong my arms got. Exactly. Stay at home all the time, but I'm busy, happy to be. Yeah, yeah, I think that's part of it too. Is like knowing that you can do things, it's your choice to stay at home. It's very, very different than it being somebody else's choice. Hi, Kenna Deadly. Yes, war. Hammer. We are war hammering. Or war painting. Caught in an ad. Sorry. Stupid ads. I think it only has like the startup. I think I only have the startup ad running anymore. I don't really care. I love it when people subscribe. It makes me happy, but also just like to have people around. Hi, Kenna Deadly. Good to see you. How are you? We are shock on shock painting some sisters. I know we're all surprised. I don't know if have I streamed since I put up the sisters painting. I love it. I love it. The good people of Warhammer Art did me well. Very freaking expensive, but worth every penny, I will say. I was a little taken aback by how much I spent on it, but it's all fine. It's all fine. Oh, goodness. Probably gonna go for another 15 minutes or so. And then I'm gonna get myself ready for bed. I have an important meeting in the morning that I need to be in a good mood for. Relatively good mood for, anyway. It's one of those meetings where I'm not very happy with this person and not very happy with what I have to discuss with them, so I need to make sure that I'm on my best behavior, which means I need to get sleep, because otherwise I will be mean. And it's not the person that I need to be mean to. It's meeting with somebody who's above me, who's done me wrong at work. Done me wrong. I sometimes wonder the people that I work with, what they would think if they knew about my geek life. Kind of cracks me up, because I don't think any of them would really. So many horrible ways to die in Warhammer 40k, from clumsy bludgeoning to bureaucratic negligence to advanced bludgeoning. I am a fan of the advanced bludgeoning. Gotta get going. Super fun to meet my Irish twin. Yes, thank you. I will certainly next time tell everyone if there was bloodshed or not tomorrow morning. Have a good sleep. Hope you stay well, and thank you so much for joining. Look forward to seeing you next time. Mises Touch coworkers all know about my geek side. Yeah, I feel like I need to start announcing my geek side a little more. They know about some of my, what I would call passions, but more that as they relate to work versus, you know, this, which is very different than what I do for work. Not sure that they can. I feel like there's probably some closeted people who paint minis, big board game people. We have a couple people that I could probably guess. We have a lot of engineers on staff, and so that group tends to lean a little closer into the geekery and the board gaming. So I could probably just, you know, maybe drop a joke or two about a board game. Like I dropped a gosh, what was it? I think it was a Settlers of Catan comment, and got a few nodding heads in a meeting. So I'm, you know, starting to figure out who are my people. Who can I bring board games to the office and play with? It is nice to have adults. You paint minis at your desk on breaks? Oh my gosh, you're my hero. That's genius. I should definitely bring minis to work. Helps calm me down. I'm not always cranky, but sometimes the nature of my work can make me cranky. It's a good idea to bring minis to work. I do bring them on trips with me. Actually, that was probably the closest that some people got very attuned to my geekery, because I was explaining that I was going to go, you know, that I'm an introvert and I need to go back to my hotel room. I can't hang out after, you know, a long day at a conference. I've got to go decompress, and how I decompress is I, you know, bring paints and minis and I paint. And they all kind of thought that I was talking about, you know, painting canvases, I think. I don't think they fully understood what I was really talking about, which was kind of funny. So not that group of people. Won't be sharing anything with them, because they did not compute. I recently hired a network engineer for my team. She's like, I'm going to warn you that I play something called 40K. I go to cons and I have weekly tabletop. Love it. Welcome, sweet summer child. Welcome. And it helps me be less cranky at work. Exactly. I think this is, yeah, it's very relaxing. My boss and I both do track racing of our cars, and that's been something that we bonded over. And he was saying that he was very stressed out a couple of weeks ago and trying to figure out what he was going to do. And he was like, I really think I'm just going to, maybe not do anything on the weekend. And I said, well, for me, there's three things that really actually help calm me or make me focus on them. And I said, it's track driving, mountain biking, or mini painting. And I could definitely see the wheels turning on the mini painting because he said, yeah, maybe I'll go track driving. And that might get me out of my head. But I could see that he was like, what, like he wanted to maybe ask, but also it was a quick meeting and probably didn't want to get into it. But I don't think he had a clue what I was talking about when I said mini painting. So I'm curious to see if that ever comes back up in a conversation. He's a little bit, of an older gentleman. Lovely, lovely man. I've absolutely enjoyed working with him. He's never one of the ones that bothers me, actually. Shockingly enough. Crazy claim that painting minis has prevented many deaths at work. Oh, I would absolutely guarantee that when I decompress in whatever way I need to decompress, it saves lives. It saves lives. There's a lot to be said for what is the new phrase? Self-care. I think people need to find what works for them to self-care at work, for work, after work. Shouldn't just be something that you do afterwards. I think if you've got breaks, if you've got time, I love the concept. Big fan. I'm gonna figure out how to make that happen. Oh my gosh, so many little spots. So many little spots. The ecclesiarchy with all of their detail. Always coming at us with the detail. I also have the Repentia that I need to build. That go along with this lovely Sister Superior. Just gotta have somebody to whip. I thought about doing the ecclesiarchy kill team for a while, but it sounds like most people actually like the Novitate kill team better. So I think I'll stick with that. And just figure out, maybe wait for the new rules and do the full sisters for the 10th edition. Hi, Remnant of Chaos. Good morning to you. Evening over here. In the good old US of wherever we are. probably not going to last too much longer. We're gonna wrap up at about 9:30. So you've come just at the tail end, unfortunately. Unfortunately for us, anyway. But we will go find someone to raid. If anybody has a suggestion, feel free to make it in the chat. You guys always give good raid suggestions. Not sure who's still out there. Haven't been checking who's even on tonight. Out in the wilderness of Twitches. Let's see. Oh, we've got Kale and Kagom's Fury and Lost Demon. Oh yeah, we got options. We got options. All right. Well, I feel like I actually made proper progress tonight. Got a little bit more painted. I've now got 7 of my Novitates put together, ready to go. Definitely need to do some gap filling on some of them, but otherwise... And then I can't actually put them on the bases and do any basing until I figure out the whole of my diorama and what I'm going to have everything actually look like, because I don't know where they're all going to be and what kind of ground they'll be on. So I need to figure that out first. Probably do some work on that over the weekend. Yeah, after I get back from Robotics Fest, Pacific Northwest Robotics Fest, with a bunch of teenagers. That'll be fun. Gotta love it. Oh, you are very welcome, Spilled Paint Pot. Thank you for joining. I always appreciate having you here. Looking forward to seeing how all of your stuff comes out. Hopefully, the rest of the week for everyone results in no more minis or other things falling off of countertops and breaking. No cats knocking over things for folks. That's always a struggle. I usually just knock them over myself. Don't even have a cat, so I'll just do it for myself. Knock things off, or, you know, look at them funny, and have an arm fall off. So that's where we're at. Clearly I'm getting sleepy, and it's probably time for me to head off. So let's figure out a raid. Let's go over to Lost. Oh, you're very welcome, A Night Whisper. Come by anytime. I very much enjoy having you all here. Love the chat. You guys are great. Absolutely my favorite. Thank you. Have a good night. Yeah. Heck, I might stream from the hotel Friday night. That would be fun. Figure out how to do that. Anyway, yeah, we'll see you later on this weekend. Good night, y'all. We're gonna go raid Lost Damon. Give him some extras. All right, we got 5, 4, 3, 2. Cheers all. Bye.